Hello YouTube, it is Blessed and Favored 016 coming at you with an IVF pregnancy update. So spoiler alert if you've missed my last video. I'm finally pregnant, yay! And I wanted to do weekly updates on what it was like the first week I did the transfer, the second week, the third week that I then found out I was pregnant. So I'm just going to get right into it, and hopefully some of you out there who are going through IVF or if it's your first time being pregnant can relate to my symptoms, how I'm progressing, and kind of how baby's progressing. So I did a transfer in the middle of September. This, mind you, is my fifth IVF transfer of a frozen embryo that was at the 5-day blastocyst stage. If you need to Google whatever that is, go ahead, pause this video and do that. But I can't get into all the scientific terms. But yeah, so that's what I did. I don't know why the first 4 didn't work. I was transferring one frozen embryo at a time. Luckily, I had like 10. I still have about like 5 remaining. And then my last 2, the 4th transfer, I transferred in 2 blastocysts. And the 5th transfer, I transferred in 2 embryos, 2 blastocysts. And 5th time's a charm, because it worked. So yeah, don't get discouraged. Keep on keeping on. And hopefully there'll be more blessings in 2017 with people who are TTCing. Mind you, I had done a lot of IUIs before this too. So this is all to say that I didn't think I was pregnant, because I've had a lot of times where I just have peed on the stick and have not been pregnant. So in the middle of September, I went ahead and I did the transfer again and didn't feel pregnant. My husband and I went on a trip to Colorado. We were hoping to have or meet with prospective foster children that we were hoping to welcome into our home in Colorado. And while we were there, I was picking up the girls, the prospective foster children. I was climbing up mountains in Colorado and didn't feel the least bit pregnant. I just thought this was another cycle that didn't work. So I wrote down some of the things that happened a few days later. Let me just get you up to speed with that. So about, I don't know, maybe 5 days after the transfer, and maybe about a day after we got back from Colorado, I had a fever. So yeah, my stomach wasn't cramping, I wasn't throwing up, nothing like that. I just had a really bad fever, like a headache that would not go away. I was shaking. I thought my temperature was really high. This was also kind of expected because a woman that I worked with was also sick. She said that she had the flu. And so I just thought, oh great, you know, this is, not only is this terrible like environment for the embryo, but I know I'm not going to be pregnant because I now have the flu. So apparently that was a sign of, I don't know, the sperm, and I'm sorry, the embryo, not the sperm meeting the egg, the embryo doing what it was supposed to do. So light headaches every other day, sometime in the afternoon. I would notice that I would always get a headache, and I don't get headaches at all typically. So this was really unusual for me. I would get a headache at around 4 or 5 o'clock, and it usually went away, or I usually felt better after I ate. So that was pretty peculiar for me. My nipples were a little bit more sensitive, but not by much. So all the stuff that you hear about women feeling like, you know, they had to go to the bathroom all the time, their nipples were sore, they were feeling cramps, none of that. I think everything for me was atypical. This whole headache thing, this whole fever thing, that just seemed like something separate from being pregnant. Sometimes my chest would feel tight because from the progesterone is what I thought it was. I would have like a heartburn. It turned out that it wasn't just from the progesterone that I was taking. It was because of being 2 weeks pregnant, I guess. That has died down since. But yeah, so far those are my 2-week wait symptoms. I then took a home pregnancy test, and I saw the 2 lines telling me that I was positive. I could not believe it. I didn't believe it. I just knew that I wasn't. So I took another test, and that came up positive. And so then I took another test, and that came up positive. I still wasn't feeling any signs of being pregnant. So I hope this is encouraging to those of you who are in your 2-week wait. For me, it was a 1-week wait because I put in a 5-day blastocyst. So I only had to wait 5 days in order to start testing. But even sometimes I get a false positive because my HCG level is a little too high from the trigger shot that I do for IVF. So I just wasn't trusting it. So yeah, let this be a lesson to you that just because your body isn't telling you the typical signs of what pregnancy is doesn't mean that you're not pregnant, because for me that was definitely the case. So that is my 2-week wait update, or 2-week pregnancy update. I'm going to come back on here and we're going to skip to 5 weeks when I really started feeling a lot of changes in my body. So join me next episode. See ya later, YouTube. Bye.